I'm Artistic Gamer 7 and welcome back to another Create a Sim video here. Obviously this is more of the Pokemon 2 CAS Series 2. This time around we are focusing on Beautifly and Dustox, and if you don't know who those are, obviously like a lot of my all my Pokemon videos except for I think I forgot on like the very first Pokemon one, which was for this series anyway, was the two legendaries. Why am I forgetting their names right now? Anyway, that's not the point. The Pokemon will be down in the bottom left corner for you to see and sort of compare to if you're not quite familiar with Pokemon. But these Pokemon are actually from Gen 3, whatever. It's weird to say generation, but sometimes I go to say it, and then I'm like, oh, that felt weird saying that in reference to Pokemon. Just say Gen. Why are you doing that to yourself? What? But anyway, so yeah, they're Gen 3. And when I remember these two quite well from the anime, because, like, if you've watched a lot of my Pokemon related stuff when it comes to Sims, don't know Gen 3 through 6 very well, and 2 has some fuzzy areas, but I know it a lot better than 3 through 6, because I fell out of Pokemon for a while, and then I got back into it. So, they are part of the first gen that I'm actually not as familiar with, but I went back and actually watched the show all the way through. Even though it is more of like a children's show, I still wanted to watch it because I knew the chances of me actually playing the games was pretty rare. And when I started watching the show, I actually hadn't got a chance to actually play Sun and Moon yet, because I started getting back into Pokemon before Sun and Moon was like fully out. And I didn't realize how much they changed stuff from the show to the game till I actually got to play Sun and Moon, and then I started watching some of Sun and Moon. So yeah, but anyway, I was basically watching the show to try to like sort of get more familiarity with Pokemon and get to know how to say their names and things like that, because that was back when I also was starting to getting prepared for my first Create a Sim, the Series 1 part of this lovely Create a Sim thing I got going on with Pokemon. But yeah. So when I watched it, I remember these two quite fondly because it was the first gen where they started introducing, what are they called? They're like beauty/talent shows for Pokemon, basically. And I really liked that aspect because it was something different from battling, and like, I don't think everyone who has a Pokemon is going to want to battle, and like they've slowly started to add more things that people do with their Pokemon, and I like that. And I like that they started doing something different. And May actually had a Beautifly, and Jessie got a Dustox, but the whole story behind it was that Jessie decided like she was going to try to compete in these, and originally it was to try to get closer to Ash and them, but then she actually legit liked competing and wanted to do better, and she wanted a Beautifly like May had, and they had this whole thing. And the thing with this Pokemon, they come from the same first Pokemon, which is Wurmple, I think I'm saying that right. But Wurmple can turn into Cascoon or Silcoon. And then from there, that bases whether they turn into Beautifly or Dustox. And Dustox is supposed to be considered like the not so pretty one of the bunch, but with Jessie, she still thought her Dustox was absolutely beautiful and all this stuff, and like loved it and things like that. And I liked that idea. I liked the fact that by looks wise, Beautifly might be something that most people, like the majority of popularity, would gravitate towards. And if I didn't really know the story and I didn't see how these two were compared so much, I probably would pick Beautifly over Dustox. But after seeing the story and actually knowing they come from the same Pokemon, but then they're always compared as Dustox being the not so pretty, the meaner one, and all this stuff of the bunch compared to Beautifly, I root for Dustox more. But I was looking forward to doing this because, one, Beautifly is very pretty, so I knew that I could have fun making a sim out of Beautifly. But then I wanted Dustox to be also beautiful, but in a different way, and also be really fun. So I did make them both female, but I tried to make them have quite a few differences, but both still beautiful. Dustox is my favorite. I think she turned out really, really pretty and also really cool looking. I like both of them style. There's a part of me that is very girly and a part of me that is not, or wants to dress more towards, like, I guess street fashion in a way it's called. I don't know. I don't know the terms of fashion. I don't know the terms of houses. I just know I like this and I like that. I don't know if it's street or high end or if it's Victorian or friggin' I can't even think of a name right now. Modern. I just like it. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, I was definitely trying to go for a different look for Dustox. I guess you could say more edgier in a way. I guess that's a good way to describe it. While Beautifly had more of that regular beauty. But yeah, anyway. Not regular beauty. That's not a really good way to describe it. That's a really bad way to describe it. But you sort of, maybe you get what I'm trying to come across of. But I did decide to make Beautifly a paler color. One, she does have white on her. I figured, like, the colors that I was going to choose for her, and well, not choose for her, but the colors she had would also pop off of a lighter skin tone. And then Dustox tends to have some of these darker colors, and again, I was trying to make them look quite a bit different odds on the different spectrum. So, and again, it's another excuse to actually let me make a darker sim, because I do admit, I feel like I don't make darker sims enough. And I actually really, some of my darker sims are some of my favorites. Dustox is definitely now one of them. But I will say, like, this, I realize, because I don't get to play with the darker, I not necessarily don't get to, I just haven't, because of how I choose to pick certain skin tones when it comes to the Pokemon Sims. I haven't fooled with the darker skin tones nearly as much as the lighter skin tones. And I had some frustrating moments on this one because of the fact of the whole skin tone thing. I can't wait to get sliders, and I will say this, I'm pretty sure I did make these Sims after the update, the most recent update that was supposed to do some stuff for the skin tones. But the thing is I use skin details, so for the most part I don't have that problem, but, you know, trying to get some of the stuff to actually work is a little bit frustrating. But hopefully, you know, that changes. I'm afraid of the slider when it comes to the makeup, but I will say there was a lot of frustration with some of the makeup because it just did not look right on her at first. So I had to play around quite a bit. But I love her so much. And I will say, like, with Beautify's clothes, I love them because they got to be red and black. Those are my two favorite colors. So I could easily potentially see myself wearing them. Now, the slits going up the legs, I feel like I'd have to have them a little bit lower. I don't know if I'd feel that comfortable with how far up the slits go. And there was actually a little issue with her tights. You can actually see where her tights end all the way up on the top of her leg, but there's no tights that went high-waisted enough to not be shown in the slit of the skirt, except for the ones that were like fishnets, and I didn't want to give her fishnets. I wanted to give her solid tights. I ended up giving Dustox here a fishnet thing. It's actually more like a bodysuit fishnet thing. I think those things are really cool, and I just recently downloaded CC of them, so, you know, this was an excuse for me to use it. But I still would wear that outfit, and I will say at first, with Dustox, like I said, she is my favorite out of these two. But her outfit, I wasn't fully feeling it. It grew on me over time, especially as I was taking screenshots, and it's mainly because of the colors, but I had to go with the colors because of what colors Dustox is. So I had to get clothes that were a close enough color to what colors are on Dustox to try to portray that it is Dustox. So I would definitely probably wear this outfit. I'd probably choose different colors, but the colors actually aren't too bad. Like I said, it grew on me after a while, and as I kept taking screenshots of them, again, I took way too many screenshots. I took more of Dustox than I did Beautifly, but I took a lot of them together as well. But yeah, so I did really love her outfit in the end. Again, if I was to wear it, I'd probably pick different colors, but it's the Pokemon Create a Sim, so it's got to try to reflect the Pokemon somehow. Yeah, my favorite part is the shirt, because it's got the really, really long sleeves. I love when I don't particularly care for long sleeves and pants. I prefer shorts and tank tops and short sleeve shirts, just because I don't find fabric fully covering my body to be that comforting. The only time it is when, you know, it's like bed or it's cold outside and I'm just trying to keep warmth. But I do really like when I do wear long sleeves that are extremely long on my arms, and I'm like, yeah, flap, flap. So I love this shirt, and I don't use it enough. I really don't use it enough. And like, I was like, I was thinking about changing it, but then I was like, no, I'm totally keeping it on her. And, you know, technically, butterflies flap their wings. She can flap her sleeves. But yeah, I actually don't know if Dustox is technically supposed to be a butterfly or a moth. But I would assume they're both supposed to be a type of butterfly since, you know, they come from the same caterpillar-like thing. Okay, so I went to sort of look at it just to make sure. Apparently, they are not both butterflies. Beautifly is just simply called the butterfly Pokemon, and then Dustox is called, as soon as it moves over, get off a CAS cone. Dustox is called the poison moth Pokemon, so technically Dustox is a moth, while Beautifly is a butterfly, even though they come from the same caterpillar. The caterpillar, when going into its, like, what is it called? I don't know what it's called. You know, the stage, like, metapod and Kakuna, and then there's Silicune and Cascoon. They're all like those stages where, you know, the caterpillar turns into its lovely butterfly form. Or moth, because both of them go through the same stages. So, Dustox is a moth, but I actually like moths a lot, so, you know, perfectly fine with this. I did struggle with Dustox hair quite a bit, you might have noticed. Trying to get something that still... I wanted both of them to have, like, a bun type thing going on in some sort of way. It didn't matter if some of the hair was down, or if most of the hair was down, as long as they had a bun-like thing to represent, like, the antennas or whatever going off their head. But trying to get a hair that looked right on Dustox and also have that more yellowish color on it took me a while. Eventually I decided to go with what I did. Even though the roots were not the blonde color for the whole thing, it fit for the sim, because, you know, I'm turning these Pokemon more into a more human thing, so it makes sense. Technically, the sim probably didn't have that natural hair color, and I actually like the way it looks. I like certain styles actually showing the roots and things like that. When the roots first come up, sometimes it looks weird, or however you style your hair when the roots come up looks strange, but I actually a lot of times like the whole root showing look, so I was perfectly fine like this, and like I said, I think she turned out really absolutely beautiful, and I love her. I love both of them, but Dustox is my favorite. She is completely my favorite out of these two, and she, in fact, is probably up there pretty high for the Series 2 ones. I might eventually try to do a ranking of my Pokemon Sims, but, you know, I've been mentioned that a few times. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not, but I might. But anyway, I hope you have liked this video. If so, hit that lovely like button, and you know all that lovely YouTube goodiness. Let me know down in the comments below which was your favorite, Beautifly or Dustox. I would definitely like to know. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!